packed your love in silence. Didn't wake me when you went. The door closed like it was nothing, like nothing ever meant. Your name still hangs in corners where your laughter used to be. I'm learning how to breathe again in a house that's missing you and me. You said I'll always be right here, like words were meant to stay. But you disappeared so softly, I didn't feel the break. You left without a sound, no goodbye, no fight, just an empty side of the bed and another sleepless night. I screamed into the silence while you were already gone. You left without a sound, and the quiet lingers on. I search for meaning in your eyes, pictures frozen in time. I replay every conversation, wonder where you changed your mind. You said love shouldn't hurt this way, like pain wasn't real. Believing without a reason is the deepest thing I feel. You walked away so peacefully, like I'd be okay. But you don't leave a heart like mine and fade away. You left without a sound when love needed words. You chose the quiet exit, left me unheard. I stood in all the questions, you took the easy ground. You left without a sound and broke me all the way out. Some goodbyes scream their ending, some just disappear. And those are the ones that echo in your ears. I wasn't asking for forever, just something true. But you left me with the silence where your love used to be. If you ever think of me, know I was listening. You left without a sound, no closure, no peace. You took the words I needed and the best part of me. I'm learning how to let go of the love I thought I found. You walked away so quietly, you left without a sound. One day the silence won't hurt, it won't call out your name. But tonight I'm sitting with the echo of the love that left without a sound. Your jacket's still on the chair, like you might come back tonight. The air still smells like your perfume and unfinished goodbyes. You used to rest your head on me like the world would disappear. Now I hold the shape of you where you once rested here. You said this love was safe, a place you'd always stay. But even homes can empty out without a word to say. You rested here, right next to my heart. You called it home, then fell apart. I gave you peace, I gave you years. Now all that's left is where you rested here. You'd fall asleep to my heartbeat, like it knew your name. I stayed awake, protecting us while you slowly changed. I learned how love can feel like warmth and still leave you cold. How someone can be everything, then let you go. You promised me forever, like it was something short. But promises grow fragile when love stops feeling pure. You rested here when life was loud. I held you up, I held you down. I was your calm, your atmosphere. Now silence lies where you rested here. Some loves don't shatter loudly, they drift and disappear, leaving behind an empty space where someone used to breathe. I don't regret the way I loved, I regret I stayed long enough to watch you leave and carry the weight. If you ever miss that feeling, no, I still feel it too. You rested here, but didn't remain. You took your peace and left me pain. I learned to heal through falling tears, but part of me will always ache where you rested here. You rested here. You rested here. One day this space won't hurt so much, it won't call out your name. But tonight I'm lying with the memory of a love that came and rested here. You came like you were silent, like you knew my name. You held my hands like home, then left them in the rain. Every time I needed you, you said I'll be okay. But loving you felt like waiting for someone who would never stay. You said your heart was open, but the door was always crashed. I gave you all of me, who cared one foot back. You never stayed when it got real. You never fought for how we felt. I can't believe in words you say while you were already on your way. I built my world around your name. You never stayed. I learned to read your distance in the silence of your calls. I made excuses for your absence, like love doesn't need it all. while you kept choosing space. You said love shouldn't hurt this much. Like pain, man, it was wrong, but loving someone halfway is how hearts break along. You never stayed when I was weak. You never heard what I couldn't speak. I held on tighter every day, afraid you'd fade and slip away. You left before I could be brave. You never not in the in-between. They show up for the easy parts and vanish in the seams. I don't hate you for leaving. I hate how long I tried to turn your temporary love into something that survived. I wasn't asking for perfection, just for you to remain. You never stayed, but I loved true. I showed you all I had to lose. One day I'll find a love that stays, that doesn't leave me halfway changed. But you'll always be the one who taught me what it means when someone never stays. I learned to trust again someday. I'll open my heart and try, but part of me will always remember how you never stayed. Goodbye. We picked a world out on whispers, games we swore to fight. You said my heart was your shelter, know it's where I hide. Your footsteps still haunt the hallway, your name's in the walls I breathe. You left without looking back and took the best of me. You promised we'd stand together through fire, through falling days. But when the ground started sinking, you let go of your hand. You left me in ruins with nothing to hold. Love was so warm, now bitter and cruel. I'm standing in pieces of what we were. You walked away home, you left me in ruins. We stayed when the curtains were showing, when hope was paper thin. I held us up with trembling hands while you lit the balcony. I learned how to smile through heartbreak, cup just the things I can't rebuild it for you. While you walked away, you said love to me feel heavy like weight, man, we were wrong. But I was carrying us both while you moved on. You left me in ruins when love needed you most. You took our future and come crashing down. Your feet and leave a scar, and all the things we never said and who we really are. I don't hate you for leaving, I hate how much I stayed, trying to say what was already slipping away. If love is meant to shelter, why did it leave me exposed? You left me in ruins, but I survived your fall. I'm running out of steam again, from the ashes of it all. You'll always be the story I couldn't save or choose. You walked away, I'm broken. You left me in the quiet of the love that left me in ruins. I heard your goodbye in whispers, not the words but how you looked away, like you'd already left the moment before you chose to say my name. You held me like it was the last time, but I didn't know it then. I was still believing in forever while you were reaching for the end. You said you'll be okay someday, like healing happens fast. But you don't just walk away from love and leave it in the past. Your goodbye still lives in me, in every quiet room, in the way I hesitate before I love someone new. I carry all the words you didn't say, the part of you that wouldn't stay. You may be gone, but honestly, your goodbye still lives in me. I see you in the smallest moments, in songs we used to play, in the way my heart still softens when someone says your name. I've learned how endings echo long after they're done, how a single moment can undo what love had begun. You walked away so certain, like I'd be fine somehow, but I'm still learning how to breathe without you now. Your goodbye still lives in me, like a scar I can't erase, and the trust I give so carefully, and the fear I still face. I smile, but part of me remains back where you walked away. You moved on so easily. Your goodbye still lives in me. Some goodbyes don't fade with time, they settle in your chest. They change the way you love again. They teach you how to protect. I don't hate you for leaving, I hate how deep it went, how one goodbye became the thing I still feel when I'm trying to forget. If you ever wonder why I'm different now, it's because you taught me how lost sounds. Your goodbye still lives in me, but I'm learning how to heal One day I'll think of you, and it won't hurt this deep. But tonight, your goodbye still lives in me. I loved you in the spaces between your words and mine, in the pauses of your breathing when you thought you were fine. I never asked for more, never raised my voice. I learned how to need you without giving you a choice. I stayed just out of reach so you wouldn't feel the weight. I carried all my feelings like they could wait. I told myself love didn't need to be loud, so I learned how to hurt without making a sound. I loved you quietly, with my heart on mute. I hid all the ways I was breaking for you. I loved you quietly while you slept at night. I felt everything deeply, but never picked a fight. You never saw me falling apart, 'cause I loved you quietly from the start. I cheered for you in silence when your dreams took flight, held your doubts like secrets, said I was alright. I smiled through the questions I was too afraid to ask. I didn't want to scare you with how deep this love ran fast. I memorized your sadness before you ever spoke. I held my breath around you so you wouldn't choke. I thought if I made loving easy for you, you'd stay without ever having to choose. I loved you quietly till I disappeared, turned my needs into whispers you never heard, never feared. I loved you quietly when you loved me less. I thought being patient was proof of my best. You never saw me lose myself, 'cause I loved you quietly, nothing else. Maybe love was never meant to be hidden. Maybe hearts are meant to be known. I confused being gentle with being alone. I don't blame you for not seeing what I never let you find. I was screaming on the inside, but I stayed kind. I loved you quietly and paid the price. I made loving you simple while mine stayed denied. I loved you quietly, now I finally see. You didn't leave me broken, I broke myself trying to be easy. If you ever wonder why I let you go, why I didn't fight, why I stayed polite, no, I loved you with everything I had, just quietly. I held the weight of every fight, kept the pieces glued at night. I smiled through the cracks in our walls while you watched me catch us when we'd fall. I've been so you could stand tall, gave you my heart through it all. But love shouldn't feel like this, a lonely kind of bliss. I gave you more than you asked for, and carried the burden you ignored. I carried us while you let go. I gave my everything, but you never showed. I carried us through storms and rain. I lost myself quietly so we wouldn't feel the pain. I held your fears like they were mine, learned your silence, traced every line. I whispered hope when you were done, while your heart was gone chasing the sun. I wore my patience like a chain, hoping love would stay the same. But you didn't see the toll it took, the way I gave all that I could. I built our world on fragile hands while you were already gone from the plans. I carried us while you let go. I gave my everything, but you never showed. I carried us through storms and rain. I lost myself quietly so we wouldn't feel the pain. Maybe love isn't meant to break so quietly, so painfully. Maybe I love too much, maybe I love too blindly. Oh, I don't blame you for walking free. I just wish you saw what you cost me. I carried us through the darkest days, but you never learned my ways. I carried us till there was nothing left. I gave my heart, my soul, my hope, while you walked away bereft. Oh, I carried us. Now I lay it down. I won't bleed in silence for love that can't be found. I carried us, but I can carry you. I carried us, now I'm carrying me through. I gave you all the pieces of me, the ones I never showed. I bet my soul in the quiet, hoping you'd never go. I stayed when your heart drifted, hope love could fill the cracks. I forgave every silence, every time you didn't come back. I never played again. never hid my truth. I loved you fully, I loved you in my youth. I loved you honestly, with everything I had. I gave you my nights, my mornings, even when it made me sad. I loved you honestly, even when you walked away. I held on to every heartbeat, but you didn't wanna stay. I watched you chase your freedom, while I learned to bend and break. I whispered prayers in the darkness, hoping my heart you'd take. I forgave every mistake, every word that cut too deep. I loved you with no limit, even when you couldn't keep. I never asked for games, never asked for lies. I loved you honestly, with open eyes. I loved you honestly, with everything I had. I gave you my nights, my mornings, even when it made me sad. I loved you honestly, even when you walked away. I held on to every heartbeat, but you didn't wanna stay. Maybe I loved too much, maybe I gave my soul too free, but loving you honestly was all I knew to be. I don't hate you, I just hate for the love that wasn't returned. I loved you honestly, and for that I'll always burn. If I loved you honestly, with everything I had, I gave you my laughter, my tears, my fears, even when it made me sad. I loved you honestly, even when you let me fall. I loved you with a heart of truth, even when you didn't love me at all. I loved you honestly, and maybe that's my crime, but I remember my own heart, even when you left me behind. I poured my heart into empty nights, told myself I'd be alright. Every time you needed saving, I was there, I didn't fight. I ignored the signs I saw, called your distance just a phase. I kept choosing you in silence while I slowly slipped away. I thought love meant giving more, even when I had no left to pour. I gave more than I had, till my hands were shaking. I held us together while I was breaking. I gave more than I had, every time you asked, and now I'm standing here empty with the weight of our past. I learned how to smile when you came home, hide the tears I cried alone. I made room for all your dreams while mine stayed on the floor. You took my strength for granted, said I'd always be okay, but you never saw how tired I was getting every day. I kept us alive on borrowed breath, calling survival love instead. Myself on fire just to keep you from understand. Love shouldn't leave you empty with your heart in your hands. I gave more than I had, but I'm letting go. I can't keep bleeding quietly for love that wouldn't grow. If you ever wonder why I walked away, why I couldn't give anymore, no, I didn't stop loving you, I just had nothing left to pour. I stayed when the room felt colder, when your eyes stopped looking my way. I carried the weight on my shoulder, so we're fine just to make it through the day. I memorized the sound of your silence, learned to read every sign. I fought through words in a quiet, while you were already saying goodbye. I can't believe in love and wait, even when you wouldn't meet me halfway. I held on when your hands let go. I kept calling love while you caught it, letting things go. I held on to the cracks in my heart. I was saving what we had, you were already gone. I slide next to you feeling lonely, like your heart was miles away. You stopped asking how I was doing, I stopped asking you to stay. I made excuses for your distance, said you were tired, not that I was fixing what was breaking. You were running from us. I gave you patience, gave you time, you gave me supposed to feel one-sided. Maybe I confused pain and proof. I kept showing up for a future you already stopped believing into. I don't hate you, that's the worst part. I just wish you'd been honest from the start. I held on when there was nothing left. I gave you my everything, you gave me what was left. I held on, but I'm letting go now. I can't keep loving someone who never loved me back the same way somehow. If you ever hear this song, no, I didn't give up on us, I just stopped holding on alone. We used to speak in forever, like it was already ours. Now we talk in empty moments, under unfamiliar stars. Your touch began to hesitate, your smile didn't stay. I felt the love growing distant, but I didn't walk away. You said nothing's really wrong, like I couldn't feel the shit. But love doesn't vanish, suddenly it just starts to drift. I watched love disappear right in front of me. In every silence you chose, in every part of me you couldn't see. I held on to what we were while you were letting go. I watched love disappear, and it broke me slow. You stopped saying I need you, started saying I'm fine. I kept reading between the lines, looking for a sign. I blame myself for the distance, try to change my shape. I thought if I loved you harder, you'd choose to stay. You said love shouldn't hurt this much, like payment we were done. But loving you half-hearted is how the deepest hurt comes. I watched love disappear like a fading light. I was still fighting for us, you were giving up the fight. I felt the end in every delay, every promise you broke. I watched love disappear, and I learned how hearts go cold. Some endings don't come crashing down, they arrive without a sound. They're living unanswered questions and love that's not around. I don't hate you for leaving, I hate how long I stayed, watching the one thing I believed in slowly slip away. If I had known the last I love you was really goodbye. I watched love disappear, but I'm learning how to heal. I'm learning love should never make you beg or kneel. I love again without fear, without losing myself. But you'll always be the one who taught me how love can disappear. I didn't lose you all at once, I lost you day by day. I watched love disappear, and quietly walk away. We stopped fighting for answers, stopped asking, are we okay? Your eyes learned how to look past me, my heart learned how to stay. Words sat heavy between us, unsaid but understood. I was screaming on the inside, you said nothing like you could. We used to talk for hours, now we barely spoke at all. Love didn't leave in anger, it faded in the calm. Silence ended us, not goodbye, not the tears we wouldn't cry. It was every that's how we ended. I filled the space with open. You filled it with escape. I asked you if you still love me. You said I'm just tired lately. I learned how distance feels when you're still lying close. How a heart can feel abandoned by the one it needs the most. You said love shouldn't feel this heavy, like quiet was a phase, but silence doesn't fade on its own. It learns how to stay. Yeah. Silence ended us bit by bit. In the pauses we permit, I kept waiting for your voice. You kept holding back from it. I was begging without words. You were already done. Silence ended us before we ever said we're done. Some endings don't come screaming, they arrive without a sound. They sit between two people until nothing's left to find. I don't hate you for leaving, I hate how we let it be. How love didn't break loudly, it just stopped choosing me. If we had spoken sooner, would we still be here? Silence ended us, but I still try to hear you in the quiet night. I loved you through the distance, through the spaces in between. You stopped reaching out for me. Silence ended us, and I finally see. One day the quiet won't hurt, it won't call out your name. But tonight I'm learning how silence can change everything. I showed you every fragile part I never let the world see. I spoke my truth without a shield. You promised you were safe from me. I loved you in my quiet ways, in words I meant to keep. I trusted you with all my scars. You touched them and they bled. You said my heart was precious, that you never do it harm. But you left fingerprints on places I only showed in trust. You broke me where I was honest, where I loved you without fear. You didn't shatter my defenses, you broke me where I was real. I gave you truth, not armor, I gave you all of me. You broke me where I was honest, and it still lives in me. I didn't play pretend with love, I meant every word I said. I stayed when it felt easier to walk away instead. You knew how much it cost me to open up that door, and still you chose the one thing that I can't ignore. You said I never meant to hurt you, like pain was just a mistake. But breaking someone's honesty is the deepest kind of hate. This is why you broke me where I was honest, but I won't close my heart. I'll just be more careful with the truth I give apart. One day I'll love completely without fear or defense, but you'll always be the reason I learned what honesty costs. I didn't fail at loving you, I loved you truthfully. You broke me where I was honest, but that honesty is still me. We used to talk till morning, like time was on our side. Now silence fills the spaces where we used to collide. Your smile started feeling distant, your touch began to change. I felt the love growing quieter, but I stayed the same. I kept telling myself this is just a phase, but deep down I could feel it slipping away. I watched us fade day by day, like colors losing their name. I held on tighter while you slipped away. I felt you leave in 1,000 small ways before you finally walked away. I loved you through the pain, I watched us fade day by day. You stopped saying I miss you, started saying I'm tired. I kept asking what was wrong, you said nothing and lied. I learned how absence can hurt, even when you're near. How goodbye can start long before it's clear. You said love shouldn't feel heavy like weight, man, we were done. But I was carrying the truth, you were already gone. I watched us fade day by day, like a song losing its sound. I was still trying to save us while you were letting go now. I felt the end in every delay, and every promise that changed. I loved you through the pain, I watched us fade day by day. Some endings don't come crashing down, they arrive slow and quiet in unanswered messages and nights we stopped trying. I don't blame you for leaving, I blame the space in between, where I kept loving harder while you stopped choosing me. If I had known that last smile was really goodbye, I watched us fade day by day, but I never stopped believing. I thought love could survive if I kept on reaching out. I'm standing in the remains of words we couldn't say. I loved you with everything, I watched us fade day by day. One day I'll love without fear again, without wondering if you'll stay. But tonight I'm letting go of the love I watch fade day by day. I held you like a promise, afraid to hold too tight. Every smile was a moment I prayed would last the night. I felt the cracks between us, but I ignored the signs. I thought love meant believing, even when I was blind. You said we had time to figure it out. I trusted every word you said. I didn't know I was already losing you instead. Love slipped through my hands like sand in the rain. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't make it stay. I gave you all I had, you still let go. Now I'm left with empty palms and a heart I don't know. I stayed when it was heavy, when silence filled the room. I spoke in gentle prayers, you answer with the truth. I learned how love can fade without a single sound, how two hearts stop reaching while still standing close around. You said it's not your fault, but that doesn't heal the ache. When loving you was everything I had to give and break. Love slipped through my hands while I held on alone. You were already leaving before I even knew. I gave you all my faith, you gave me the end. Now I'm standing in a space where I forever should have been. Some losses come in silence, not storms, not shattered glass, just promises growing distant and a future in the past. I don't hate you for leaving, I hate how long I stayed, trying to save a love that was already slipping away. If love is meant to stay, why did it feel so thin? Fall apart, but you'll always